So I think we're ready to begin. Am I good here as well? On the good old YouTube. I'm live streaming on YouTube, so everybody say hello YouTube. Hi YouTube. Awesome. All right. Okay. So imagine this. It's early 2000s Toronto. Running on video game logic, where the TTC runs on Mario Kart physics, and everyone's life is a side-scrolling boss battle. Enter a 23-year-old bass player who's not exactly the brightest bulb at Canadian Tire. He freeloads off of his gay roommate, shares bed with him, platonically, I think, and he falls in love with the literal girl of his dreams. But to date her, he has to defeat 7 of her evil exes. That includes an Indian magician who can summon demonic cheerleaders at will, a pro skater / movie star with eyebrows that deserve their own IMDb page, a famous vegan bass player with soy-infused psychic powers, a ninja with rage issues and the reason they're called the League of 7 Evil Exes, Japanese robot building twin brothers, and a rich evil genius with superiority complex, and he's basically Elon Musk with better hair. If that sounds familiar, it is because it is the plot of Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life by Canadian playwright, or not playwright, my bad, Canadian writer Brian Lee O'Malley. The comic that became the movie Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, starring Brantonian Michael Cera, a video game, actually there's going to be another one coming out soon, an anime called Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and now, maybe, a musical. I'm Nessie Hill, and since 2020, I have been the lead music writer, voice actor, and chaos coordinator behind Scott Pilgrim vs. the Unofficial Musical, a fan-made love letter to Canada's most iconic slacker. I was originally hired to write only 2 songs with other fans of Scott Pilgrim and Broadway alike. Flash forward 5 years, a pandemic, and a plot twist where I became physically disabled, and suddenly I was writing or rewriting almost every song except for the prologue. Dropping a prequel EP called Flowers, which is about Ramona's evil exes, producing music, making lyric videos, voicing every single character, yes, even Scott, and shamelessly promoting the show at Fan Expo Canada to Broadway stars, screen legends, and Todd Ingram himself, and Brian Lee O'Malley. The music is inspired by a wide genre of bands, artists, and musicals, from Green Day to Rent, Taylor Swift to Hadestown, Paramore to the Book of Mormon, and even Canadian band TWRP to the Great Comet of 1812. Basically, if it slaps, we borrowed it. So far, we've released the demo of Round 1, which is the first half of Act 1, on YouTube. And as of today, it is now officially on SoundCloud. Woo! Woo! Flowers is also available on SoundCloud, and you can download this right now. But wait, there's more. To celebrate meeting Brian Ruth, who played Todd in the film, and Alex Brightman, the actor who we wanted to play Stephen and Todd at Fan Expo Canada, we released a song from Round 2 to the public called Rockstar. It is available on SoundCloud right now, and the lyric video, made by our amazingly talented volunteer, girlypop.comics from Instagram, should be out this very moment. If Parker, if you're listening, release the hounds. You can press upload now. The rest of Round 2 will be coming out very soon, so keep your eyes and ears open and skate over to that like button and subscribe. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Tonight, I will be performing some of the songs from the show live for the first time ever. Some have been released, some have only been heard by me and my writing partner Parker, who lives in Florida, and will probably be watching this with his pet and his cat Gideon. I am risking a flare-up for this performance, so I expect nothing less than tears, applause, and y'all to record, post, and share everything, and even the unreleased stuff, please. Because here's the deal. The participation tonight, and with all of our stuff online, helps feed the algorithm that decides if the show eventually becomes real. So if you laugh, cry, or scream, this song sucks. Please let the internet know, your friends, your family, and your evil exes know. Please. In a world full of American stories told by Americans, help us bring this gloriously weird, proudly Canadian tale to life. So I'm going to begin things with, as I said, this is actually a song that I did not write. This is actually probably the only song that went completely untouched, and it was written by Evie Shuckman, who is actually pursuing a Broadway career right now. So, imagine, Scott Pilgrim is sitting alone, center stage, playing Ramona's song on his bass guitar. Ramona Flowers skates by as he looks on, just missing her as she exits. Are you girlfriend. Problematic, I know. But I mean, if you think about it, imagine you're a sheltered 17-year-old who's never had a boyfriend, never been kissed, and your mom's already acting like you're late for marriage. Asian moms, you know. Then in walks this 23-year-old guy who's into the same video games and music as you, and he's in an indie rock band, that's amazing, and he actually listens to you. Bare minimum, I know. Anyway, on the way to an arcade with Scott, Knives suddenly realizes something very important. He's just playing, random notes. As he tries to figure out what exactly the melody was, it literally sounds like noise. Very annoying. And though it may seem like Scott is very happy with his new underage girlfriend, he can't help but feel this impending loneliness as the world just crushes itself on him. He's just so alone. So alone. But it's only when he's feeling this loneliness that a mysterious girl with pink hair and roller skates comes by and tells Scott, "Shut up, you're not alone, you're just having some idiotic dream." To which he says, "I'm dreaming? Can we make out then?" So Scott tries to run after her, but then he realizes that the song, the melody that was behind the dream, is this mysterious girl here. Don't let him scare off the coolest girl at her party, which means she's here. The imagination's a scary thing, and so is interaction. I've always been a man of faith and very little action. The idea of heart existing ain't wrapped up like a line. But what's the chance of her crashing my precious little life? And then he sees her. And then everything pauses. Because in that moment, Scott Pilgrim has a choice to make. He could walk away, break up with his underage girlfriend, get a job, start paying rent, at least get his own bed. And that would have been it, end of story. Unless he has a time machine, but we're not going to get into that. Or he could choose the path that could lead to his eventual death. And since he's walking toward her, of course, he's going to choose death. So things don't go very well. And Scott says that he's going to leave Ramona forever. But is that true? Could it be that I'm more powerful than I even thought to will her into existence and royally screw it up? Because the story behind those gorgeous eyes were worth being part of it. I don't know if it's fate testing me, but she's worth another attempt. I saw her and I found her, and I refused to resign. And for her, I'd do anything, I'd even that. Anyone in my way, because this is a sign. The world explodes to the end of time. I found her and she will be mine. Ramona. So despite Scott saying to Ramona that he'll leave her alone forever, he successfully figured out what Amazon.ca was and ordered something using Wallace's credit card, of course. He also ignored some random scam email from someone named Matthew, something with fighting soon, blah, blah, blah. That's boring. But Scott sits on the floor like a puppy after he orders it until Ramona delivers the package. And then she agrees to go on a date with Scott. Hooray! So, after another really great song that y'all should listen to, but it's also very long and kind of difficult to do unless you have another person here, then the day goes really well. And Scott decides to invite Ramona to see his band play. Also, Knives is going to be there too. Woohoo! But not long after Sex Bomb starts to play, an Indian hipster magician with mystical powers, dressed as a pirate demon from hell and totally not ripped off from Alistair from House in a Hotel, totally grabs it. His name, Matthew Patel, and he is Ramona's first evil ex-boyfriend. I guess the email was important. Ramona explains that yes, she did date Matthew in the 7th grade. And then she sings a song about it. And then Matthew sings a song called Sleek. Scott wins the battle, because apparently he's the greatest fighter in all the province. Who knew? And after successfully KOing his enemy, he manages to get $2.75 Canadian in coin. But Ramona has some explaining to do. Tell me how does this sound? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my evil exes. Wait, what? You're gonna be around. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my evil exes. They point is, I can deal with that many evil ex-boyfriends, 7 evil exes, if I can be with you. So we're going to fast forward to Act 2. So this song has not been released to the public, and this is actually a favorite of mine and my writing partner Parker's favorites. So Stephen, Kim, and Scott are in the middle of recording an album, but Scott is distracted. He has to fight evil exes 5 and 6 at this point, which are Ken and Kyle Kalinagi. He has to fight them at the same time at some point, and Ramona's been distant lately. Maybe she's spoken with knives recently. Maybe it has something to do with her head glowing sometimes. Who knows? Anyway, the band gets a gig at Julie's Cafe/Bar, Sneaky Bean, no relation to Sneaky Bees. But Scott leaves rehearsal early to spend time with Ramona, leaving Kim and Steven to sing what may be their last song as a band without Scott. I'm used to Scott going off to do whatever he needs, but this time really takes the cake. It should be such a breeze. We're getting serious another song that that was actually released a couple years ago, and it's a beautiful song. So this one is Scott comes home after having just defeated Ken and Kyle. Hooray! Spoiler alert! And he has one evil ex left, but when he comes home, he sees Ramona has had her hair cut. Her hair is glowing, and she's quiet. And Gideon, evil ex number 7, is there. Not for Scott, but for Ramona. Ramona leaves Scott willingly to be with Gideon again, but she seems torn, almost robotic. And the last thing she says to Scott is, "I had a good time." Am I a glutton for punishment, or so deep in his control? Musical experiment with all of you tonight, and those of you on the good old YouTubes. So we don't have the rights yet, but if enough people shout from the rooftops or just repost on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it's called now, maybe the stream will become a reality. So the music has kept me going for 5 years through rewrites, flare-ups, and existential spirals. It's really been the heartbeat of this project, and people have asked me for 5 years, why is it that you keep putting so much work into this project when you don't have the rights? And literally the biggest reason is this music. And I want it to be heard, especially the stuff that hasn't been heard yet. You know, I've never performed this, any music that I wrote until I started working on this project. And so thank you again for allowing me the stage tonight to, and your warm reception, seriously, this means the world to me. So shout out to Jimmy, Philip, Bethany. So Bethany was before me, and the people going after me. Everyone, your shows will and were awesome, and I'm so happy to be part of this lineup. And I'd love to see this show on stage one day, and maybe even a full reading, but we need your help. Please share the music, share the vision. Let Piper and Lori know that you believe in mine and Parker's idiotic dream, you know, all that good stuff. And if it's all right with you, I'm just going to share one last song. So, it's been a month after the breakup. Scott realizes that he's no better than the evil exes that he fought. He's hurt people, his friends, his exes, Ramona, and now he has to own it. And he has to apologize and fight for the love of his life. Back to Toronto, back to Sydney, back to Gideon and second best routines, back to evil exes and fighting for love, is losing her to that's the only thing I'm afraid of. Scott Pilgrim is coming home. Scott Pilgrim is coming home. Scott Pilgrim is coming. The only ex that he will be is the exhibition. The one on every summer for really no submission. This is gonna be Scott Pilgrim's finest hour. Done with robots, ninjas, Mr. Chicks, and vegan powers. Her evil exes, I told her I could deal with that thing. Evil exes, Matthew was a bitch, Mrs. Evil did him in. Todd was a cheating vegan, Roxy was a lesbian. The twins had evil robots fighting by his side, and I defeated them all around with love by my side. Scott Pilgrim is coming home. Scott Pilgrim is coming home. Scott Pilgrim is coming. You are my life now. Run on the flowers. You make my life better hour after hour. I'm coming home now. Back to Toronto. Take me back now for forever. I want you home now. This time it's personal. Thank you everyone so much. These were songs from Scott Pilgrim versus the Unofficial Musical. Please look us up on YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud. Share any videos that you take or find, and please tag us. Like I said, even if for the stuff that wasn't released yet, please feel free to share it. We're always looking for volunteers as well for making videos, music mixing, advertising, and all that stuff. So because it's mostly run by me and Parker and like one other or two other volunteers. So please reach out to me if you want to be part of this. And thank you for believing in our idiotic dream. And I'll see you all on the Subspace Highway.